Hello, I'm Jack Keenan, founder and president of B Keenan Incorporated, the company that developed the Influence Skills and Advanced Influence Skills workshop that we've conducted for the ACs and CAEs for more than a decade now. I've been in the training business in Silicon Valley now for 30 years next week, and the older I get, the more often I get asked, what's changed in the sales training business? Every time I hear that question, my response is always the same. It's the wrong question. The better question is what's changed in the buying and decision-making process over the last 10 years. In the next few minutes, I'd like to share with you some of our thoughts and observations and some of the relevant research on this question. As we look at the last 10 years, we see three significant changes that collectively, we believe, elevates the importance of the AC role to the customer. Customers value your insights and domain expertise even more today than they did 10 years ago. First, the asymmetry of company and product information that used to exist between us and the customers is so over. 10 years ago, customers were largely dependent upon us for access to information about the company, our products, and our solutions. I actually have very vivid memories of sitting in meetings in the Valley, debating about whether it's a good idea to put detailed product information up on the website. In particular, I remember one VP of sales loudly challenging the idea, complaining about what would happen to the role of his sales team if customers could find this stuff on their own. Today, anybody with a browser and 30 minutes of free time can find out more about our company and our products faster from more diverse perspectives than they will ever get from us. Take a look at the left-hand side of this chart, showing some research on the search process done by Google and the Corporate Executive Board. It's pretty clear that no longer do customers rely on us as suppliers and vendors as their primary source of information to help guide a decision. Cooley's Deep Chip, EDN, their consortia partners, DAC, electronic design, chip design, the explosive growth of blogs. Access to information about us and our products is everywhere and immediately available 24/7. Now look at the right-hand side of the chart. This research suggests that customers are doing a lot of due diligence on their own challenges, design approaches, our products, and our company, even before they ever engage in a relationship with a sales rep or an AC. These data suggest that they are more than halfway down their decision path before we engage. And this also suggests that if all we do is show up and talk about our products, we've not added any value to the customer's decision process and will likely not have any impact on it. They'll just keep moving down the path they were taking before they met with us. So the days of the product-oriented salesperson are over. And if you look at what the B2B surveys say about salespeople, what they talk about on their sales calls, that's a big deal. That's a big change for them. And that has implications for us as ACs. The second macro change in the customer decision process involves establishing relationships. 10 years ago, the smiling, backslapping, hardworking relationship manager was the model in the industry. In some companies, the sales model centered around lunches and dinners and golf outings and baseball games. Salespeople use these venues to create relationships. Today, many customers don't seem to want or place the same value on that sort of casual relationship. Most of our own customers in Silicon Valley spend less money per field resource today on customer entertainment, those lunches and golf outings, that they did in 2008 and 2009 before the downturn. Travel expenses are up, but entertainment expenses are down. Seemingly, customers don't want to spend their time this way. Today, customers want, or perhaps even demand, more substantive relationships from their key partners, and thus the relative impact of the role of the AC becomes more important. ACs are responsible for the technical success of the relationship, and customers want access to your expertise and experience even earlier in their decision and design processes, and place more value on that than lunch with the rep. Take a look at the folks who wrote the book on the Trusted Advisor have to say about what customer executives are demanding from their key vendors and suppliers. Customers want us to deliver impact on them and their processes that they can't get from their own organization. Value beyond product. This is some good research, again conducted by the Corporate Executive Board, that speaks directly to this issue. And they have recently published this in a book called The Challenger Sale. This research is actually pretty well done, with a very large sample size and with a factor analysis methodology that's well established in the social sciences. Basically, this factor analysis separated their sample of 6,000 salespeople in 5 distinct clusters based upon interviews of the manager. The categories of clusters you see here, the hard worker, the challenger, the relationship builder, the lone wolf, and the problem solver, are roughly equally distributed, as you can see. What this study was trying to determine is whether one behavioral cluster was more successful in selling than any of the others. Now, obviously, these studies were done with salespeople and who have been rank ordered in terms of their performance against quota. But everything I know about the AC role says to me that the results would apply to the technical role of the AC as well. Because of low complexity sales environments, the pure relationship builder is at a disadvantage to the other clusters. In high complexity environments, which certainly characterizes EDA, the pure relationship builder is at an enormous disadvantage. Only about a 4% chance that the relationship builder will be in the top 20%. So if you believe this research, and I surely do, the days of the pure relationship manager salesperson, if not over, are ending. So what is this challenge of behavior, which the research shows to be more than 10 times as likely to be in the top 20%? Challenge of behavior involves impacting the way the customer sees their problem or challenge. Challenge of behavior is disruptive. It causes the customer to stop and possibly rethink their approach. Challenge of behaviors are assertive use of domain expertise to show a customer a different path than they might have been on before we met with them. Challenge of behavior is focused on adding insights into the problem of the design challenge and not on your product. Now, you might be thinking that, Jack, that's just one author in one book, but I'm something of a student of this business, and there have been multiple studies since the downturn that line up pretty well with this research. Here's a different kind of a study done by observing 800 salespeople on actual calls and using behavioral checklists to categorize selling styles into different but similar set of categories. Socializers look a lot like relationship builders in the earlier study, and experts, closers, and consultants look roughly similar to the challenges in that study. Another study with a very different methodology. These people interviewed buyers about a recent major purchase decision and characterized the winners and the vendors that came in second place with respect to characteristics that differentiated them. Notable here is the fact that the winners were roughly 3 times likely to be described as having educated buyers with new ideas or perspectives than those in second place. So why does this insight selling seem to work? First, recall that this study showed customers more than halfway down their decision path before they engage with us. With problem solving and relationship selling, and even perhaps hard work, we do what they say and give them what they ask for, and we reduce the customer tension, and they go forward with their decision path. Influencing customers with domain expertise and problem insights does the opposite. Customers put aside their current approach for a moment and consider an alternative approach which, based on our insights and expertise, gets them to their ultimate goals in a better way and leads them to differentially value the recommendations we make. The last of these 3 macro changes in the customer buying process is but the result of 10 years of maturation of the industry. One of the defining characteristics of a technology industry is that as it matures, is that from the customer's perspective, products from various vendors become more alike. Many of the differences in our products that we clearly see have become less clear to the customer. To this, add the obvious fact that the technical challenges and business pressures are continuing to grow more formidable, and our potential to add value to the way the customer approaches their designs goes up accordingly. For these reasons, as ACs, the relative importance of the way you do business as a source of competitive advantage becomes greater. The value derived from you and the insights that you help to bring the customer reframe and reconsider their design approach becomes even more differentiating. Simply put, you become a key element in differentiating Synopsys from those other folks. So what does this all mean for you? First, focus a bit less on product and focus more about learning about them, their products, applications, and how the industry is tackling the kinds of design challenges that they have, your domain expertise beyond the product. Second, consciously work to demonstrate that domain expertise and show those insights in the first substantive conversation. If you believe that Google research that shows the customer halfway down their decision path before they meet with you, then you need to show some insight to get the customer to stop down their path and perhaps consider another way. Third, recognize that the way you do business becomes a very significant and today more important source of differentiation. The insights you bring, the domain expertise you share, and your ability to help a customer rethink an approach or reframe their problem can set you apart from the rest of those people waiting in the lobby. We hope we stimulated a little bit of your thinking here, and thanks for your time.